All right, today I'm going to be reacting to Beatles for Sale by, of course, the Beatles. We're continuing the Beatles reactions here. This is the second last one. We're almost done. Now, I know I haven't done Yellow Submarine, but I was kind of looking into it, and it looks like some Beatles fans don't even, or I guess people in general don't really consider that to be one of their core albums, so maybe I'll listen to that on my own time. I don't think I'll do a video on it. Looking a little bit into the inspiration for the title of this album, this came from a feeling, a general sense that the band had that after Beatlemania, after their insane popularity, that they just kind of felt like they were just goods getting shipped around the world, offered for sale. Maybe they didn't feel like they had a real core fan base that actually, or maybe the industry in general didn't treat them like actual human beings. So yeah, kind of an interesting context surrounding this record. The last album I enjoyed quite a bit. I thought he was definitely better than with the Beatles. Make sure to go join the Patreon if you want to see this reaction uncut. There's a link in the description down below. And we're gonna hop into it. The first track is No Reply.
This happened once before. When I came to your door, I saw the light.
Oh.
I saw the light. I realized that I love the light.
Crazy rasps to these vocals. I don't know, there's something about the instrumentation here that feels a bit more like folky in a way. You know, it's not as like straight up pop rocky.
No reply.
Oh, it's a good chord to end it off on. It also feels more serious and just less kitschy, I guess. And I'll keep going back to Please Please Me. That's something I kind of actually loved about it, was just how like over the top and just like unapologetically positive that album seemed to be. But it feels like we kind of saw the start of this on the last album, and I feel like it's continuing to happen here, where things are just getting a little bit more introspective, I guess, and more serious. Yeah, I like that. That was good. Next track is I'm a Loser. 'Cause I'm a creep, I'm a loser.
Of all the love
Oh.
I have won or have lost.
Whoa. Interesting mix.
I'm a loser.
See what I mean? Everything's just so folky so far on this album.
Done to deserve such a fate.
Like, it feels more rustic, but it also still has those like traditional pop rock kind of melodies and bass line, you know?
I'm a loser, and I'm not what I appear to be.
Okay, this album so far feels like the most different out of the first four, I guess. Yeah, it feels like there's a lot of musical and artistic evolution going on here, especially in the writing. I feel like that's where you're seeing the biggest jump. Yeah, it's just not as not as lovesick, not as kitschy. Next track is Babies in Black.
Oh dear, what can I do? Baby's in black, and I'm feeling blue. So she dresses in black.
Good harmonies here. This feels like a cover, is it? Looks like it's an original song. I don't know why it feels like a cover. Oh. Yeah, I don't know why that feels like a cover. It just has this very classic feel to the songwriting that makes it feel like that, but I guess it's an original by them, by the Beatles, so it was all right. I liked parts of it. Writing here feels kind of purposefully like obvious in a way, and it's trying to be kind of tongue-in-cheek and humorous in that way, but I don't know, the humor doesn't really land for me. Like this verse here, she thinks of him, and so she dresses in black, and though he'll never come back, she's dressed in black. I get what they're trying to go for there, but it just doesn't really land. So yeah, there's aspects I like, but probably my least favorite so far. Rock and roll music is next. Okay.
Just let me hear some of that rock and roll music.
Okay, so here's a cover.
I got no kick against modern jazz, unless you try to play it too damn fast. If you wanna dance with me, if you wanna dance with me, and in the mood they take a mambo. Any old time you use it, if you wanna dance with me.
Dang. Okay. Yeah, I really like that performance. I like how intense that performance was. Really, really the band just giving it their all. John killing it on the vocals. So I guess, yeah, I guess we're getting covers here. I don't know, maybe this is going to be the only cover on the album, but it felt like the last album was a step up in terms of just all original songs, and something isn't inherently better because it's an original song, but it did feel like there was kind of an evolution there, and maybe going forward it was going to be all original Beatles tracks. But hey, I'm fine with it if there's covers on this, because this one was actually pretty fun, and again, I thought that performance was really tight. I really liked the kind of rustic nature of the first two tracks, and I hope we kind of return to that in a way, because that felt like an interesting place for the band to go, so maybe we'll get back to that.
But tomorrow may rain, so I'll follow the sun. One day you'll find that I have gone.
I don't know what it is about these guitar solos, but there's some guitar solos in these early albums here that just feel so underwhelming. That was another one. I get that like simplicity is kind of the key to this track, right? And that's what you're going for. But that just felt really, really underwhelming.
And though I lose a friend, in the end you will know. You'll find
It's nice.
that I have gone.
That was good. That was really good. I like the just kind of folky acoustic feel to that. Really like that last melody line. Tomorrow may rain, so I'll follow the sun. Something like that. Guitar, like Genius calls it a guitar solo. It wasn't even really that. It was just a little guitar passage, I guess. Yeah, I don't know if that was necessary. Probably the track would be fine without it. But overall, really liked it. Liked how the guitars were mic'd. And just, yeah, really pretty songwriting. It feels like this would never be... like, something like this would not be on Please Please Me, right? Okay, Mr. Moonlight is next.
Mr. Moonlight.
Whoa, that's a great vocal little intro.
And from your beam you made my dreams love.
Whoa, the vibrato is going off right now.
Mr. Moonlight, come again, please. Mr. Moonlight.
So that was another cover, apparently. I really like that vocal performance from John. Just like setting the tone off the bat with just a crazy vocal performance. As we trudge through these albums here, I don't know, it feels like there's a underlying maybe sense of anger underneath these vocals too. Maybe that's a reach, but I mean, if they were dissatisfied with how, I guess, the music industry maybe was treating them at this time, or just the demands of being such a popular band, maybe you're hearing that underlying anger coming through in these vocals here. Even if this track isn't about that, it just feels, that's the emotion I get from that vocal performance, you know? Let's keep going. Kansas City. Hey, 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 hey. This sounds familiar.
Gonna get my baby back home.
I mean, real Motown feel to this one.
My baby's been gone.
Whoa! Who is this singing? It doesn't even sound like any of the Beatles. That's crazy. Dang, I don't know. It might be McCartney, but yeah, whoever this is really kind of manipulating their voice to, sound like something completely different than the Beatles, you know?
I'm going to Kansas City. Gonna get my baby one time.
See, here's a good guitar solo. Really crazy raspy vocals. I'd be really interested to listen to the original of that song, because it feels like they're trying to like match that energy, you know? And I think I guess I can't say they did a pretty good job because I don't know the original, but I do like just again that intensity. That's one big theme of this album so far, is just the amped up vocal performances, you know? It feels like there's a lot of energy, and like I said, maybe some underlying anger put into those, but I just loved how raspy the vocals were. I loved the hey hey heys, how like just thick those felt. Yeah, really, really energetic cover. I like it. Let's keep going. 8 days a week.
Ooh, I need your love,
Another
babe.
cover.
Guess you know it's true. Hold me, love me. I ain't got nothing
Gotta love the
but
double
love.
clap.
One thing I can say, girl, love you all the time. I love you.
Oh,
8
nice.
days a week. I ain't got nothing but love, babe.
Yeah, it was fine. I was just, I don't know. This feels like one of those more kitschy tracks that, for some reason, these types of tracks just don't work for me as well on these later albums. Like, they worked on Please Please Me because the whole album was that, and it felt like that was just the theme, you know, that was the vibe. But when they do it on this album and when they do it on freaking with the Beatles, it's like, okay, we've already heard it, you know. It just gets a little bit tiring. Kind of too cheesy, in my opinion, but yeah, we'll keep going. Next track is Words of Love.
Hold me close and tell me how you feel.
Really, really interesting tone to these guitars right now. They're very like almost kind of annoying, but I kind of like them at the same time.
Darling, I love you.
I really like the mixing production to that track. There's some really good ear candy. But overall, just the general structure and vibe of the song didn't really do much for me. It's like this album's kind of frustrating because it's like I want to see some more musical artistic evolution, and I thought we were going to get that after the first two tracks because I thought those were actually really interesting. But as we go here, a lot of this is just feeling like it's treading similar territory, and maybe they were rushed to get this album out. I don't know all the specifics of it, but considering this was at the height of Beatlemania, you know, maybe they just had some sort of immense outside pressure to get this done, and so it's not their best work, but it's feeling like somewhat of a step back compared to the last album.
Let me know, honey, how you feel. Tell the truth now, is love real? Honey, don't. Honey, don't.
I don't know if Ringo has the vocal chops to carry a song like this, you know?
Honey, don't. Honey, don't. I said, honey, don't. Honey, don't. I'll rock on George for Ringo one time.
I feel like a track like that just relies on the vocal performance so much, and I feel like Ringo just didn't really offer an engaging vocal performance for me, so I didn't love that. I'm getting kind of tired of this sound at this point. I'm like, just please give me something more interesting.
When I'm walking beside her, every little thing.
Woo! Here we go.
Every little thing
That's good.
she does for me. Yes, I know that she loves me now. Every little thing
Whew.
she does.
Those like dramatic toms that hit, those are so good.
She
Oh.
does. Every little thing.
That's my favorite so far. That has one of those like classic Beatles choruses that just like makes you just float, you know? It's just the harmonies are so beautiful. It's kind of unexpected in a way, but it's also not too like weird or out of nowhere. Like it still works in a way, but it's just like it's such a nice little surprise, you know? Just adds a beautiful little flavor to the entire track. That was really good. That's what I was kind of hoping most of this album would be. And it kind of hasn't been, but hey, at least we had this one. Let's keep going. I don't want to spoil the party.
I would hate my disappointment to show, so I will disappear. If she turns up while I'm gone, please let me know. I still love her.
Hey, that was another good one. We're kind of on a roll here. Was another one written by them, right? Or was this a cover? It looks like it was, yeah, written by them. You definitely feel that. It's another one of those tracks where everything just flows really seamless. Yeah, I don't remember what I was saying, but moral of the story, I liked it. We're kind of on a roll here, 2 in a row that just feel a little bit more engaging for me. Let's keep going. Second last track is What You're Doing. Ooh.
Feeling blue and lonely, would it be too much?
Really unexpected vocal melody here. It like kind of almost doesn't work, but it works.
What you
Weird.
doing?
Woo! That piano?
Here for you, wondering what.
Woo! Nice. Really interesting melodic and harmonic content to that track. Like, it feels like there's pieces that are like almost not fitting together, but they do at the end of the day. It somehow works, man. And I feel like that's when the Beatles are at their best, especially in the later albums, is when they're really just exploring that territory, you know? And you don't get it much here on these earlier albums, but when you do, it's really exciting because you can see the foundation of that, and you see where it's coming from, see where it started, you know? I was kind of underwhelmed by this album in the middle section there, but as these last like 3 tracks have been pretty solid, so we're kind of ending things off pretty strong here. Let's move on to the last track, Everyone's Trying to Be My Baby. Are they
Well,
now?
it took some honey from a tree. Everybody's trying to be my baby. Everybody's trying to be my baby.
Crazy reverb and delay echo on those vocals. This concept for a song is really funny to me. It feels kind of hip hop in a way, you know, where it's like, is this John? I don't know who's singing this, but they're just flexing on how many women they get, you know. But I'm assuming we're gonna go a little bit deeper and we're gonna talk about the maybe the negatives of that. Maybe we'll see, or maybe he'll just be flexing the entire time, and that's okay too. Woo! Oh, great little guitar lick at the end there. So apparently this is a cover, but it fully makes sense that the Beatles are covering this at this time in their career, you know, because I'm assuming the lyrical content of this track is pretty applicable to their lives as well. So yeah, I like it. It highlights that, but it also kind of, I don't know, they're not explicitly stating maybe the negatives of it or the pressure of it, but they're just kind of like, it feels kind of like a tongue-in-cheek look at it, and I like how it's not taking itself too seriously. It's just kind of, yeah, approaching it from a humorous angle, and I think it works. I think it works in that way. Really good guitar work on that track. Yeah, just a fun track in general. This album ended off pretty strong. I don't think this one's gonna rank very high in the ranking video, but there's moments here that I really like. I think it's a little bit of a step back from the last album. It just feels like in the context of where I'm at in their career right now, it feels like there should be a little bit more artistic evolution, but I also do have to keep in mind that this is 1964. When was the first album? Was it 63? I think first album was 63. So this is like, these 4 albums that I've reacted to, these past 4 have been in the span of like 2 years at most, maybe under that. But overall, I am feeling a little bit underwhelmed, and I'm just like, it's getting a little bit tiring because some of these tracks I just feel like they're treading very similar territory. I'm intrigued to see where we go after this. Like, is there gonna be a drastic jump in the sound, or is it just gonna be maybe more of the same? I don't know. But yeah, this one was all right, kind of a mixed bag for me, feeling kind of mid on it. So yeah, those are my thoughts. Let me know your thoughts down below. Let me know any insights you have. And yeah, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, go join the Patreon if you want to see this reaction, as well as all the other Beatles reactions uncut. And I will see you guys in the next and the final Beatles reaction. Peace out.